Once upon a time, in a sunny meadow, lived many ants. They were always busy, bustling about with purpose and determination. The ants carried food to their anthill, working together in perfect harmony. Each ant had a role, and they knew that their hard work would ensure their survival. They worked hard every day, from dawn till dusk, never stopping to rest. Their dedication was unwavering, and they took pride in their work. In the same meadow lived a grasshopper. Unlike the ants, he had a very different outlook on life. He loved to sing and dance, filling the meadow with his cheerful tunes. His music was a delight to all who heard it. The grasshopper did not like to work. He preferred to spend his days lounging in the sun, enjoying the beauty of the meadow. He thought working was boring and unnecessary. Why toil away when there was so much fun to be had? He preferred to have fun, hopping from flower to flower, playing his fiddle, and singing his heart out. The sun shone brightly, and the flowers swayed in the gentle breeze. It was a perfect day for relaxation and enjoyment. The ants scurried back and forth, their tiny legs carrying heavy loads of food. They were preparing for the future, ensuring they had enough to eat when times were tough. The grasshopper, seeing the ants hard at work, chuckled to himself. He couldn't understand why they would choose to work so hard on such a beautiful day. Why waste such a beautiful day working, he thought. There is so much more to life than just work. Why not enjoy the moment and live freely? The ants knew winter was coming. They needed to store food. They collected seeds and grains. They carried them to their anthill. The ants worked together. They helped each other. They wanted to be ready for winter. They knew it was important to prepare. Each ant carried a burden far heavier than itself, their tiny bodies straining with the effort. They moved with a sense of purpose, their antennae twitching as they communicated with one another. The grasshopper watched them, shaking his head. Such silly creatures, he thought. Why not enjoy the warmth while it lasts? The grasshopper sang and danced all day. He played his fiddle. He did not worry about winter. He thought summer would last forever. The grasshopper laughed and played. He enjoyed the warm sun. He thought the ants were silly. The melody from his fiddle filled the air, attracting the attention of other insects who danced and played alongside him. The grasshopper, lost in the joy of the moment, felt a pang of pity for the hardworking ants. They don't know how to truly live, he mused to himself. Summer ended. The leaves changed color. The air became colder. Winter was coming. The ants were ready. They had plenty of food. They went inside their anthill. They stayed warm and cozy. The wind howled through the meadow, stripping the trees of their leaves. The once vibrant flowers withered and drooped, their colorful petals scattered by the gusts. The grasshopper, feeling the first chill of winter, shivered. He suddenly realized that summer was truly over. Section 5. The Grasshopper's Plight. Hunger in the cold. The grasshopper had no food. He had not stored any. He was cold and hungry. He did not know what to do. Snow began to fall, covering the meadow in a blanket of white. The once familiar paths and hiding spots were now buried under a thick layer of snow. The grasshopper's stomach rumbled, and he felt a pang of regret for not listening to the ants. His once vibrant green exoskeleton seemed dull and lifeless in the cold. He wandered through the snow, his limbs heavy and his heart filled with despair. Section 6. A Plea for Help. The Grasshopper's Desperate Request. This is a tale of desperation and hope, where a grasshopper learns a valuable lesson about preparation and community. The grasshopper saw the ants' anthill. He remembered the ants, who had worked tirelessly all summer while he sang and played. He knew they had food stored away for the harsh winter. He regretted not heeding their advice to prepare. With a heavy heart and a growling stomach, he went to the anthill, hoping for a miracle. With trembling legs, he approached the anthill, the entrance of which was barely visible under the snowdrift. The cold wind bit at his fragile wings. He called out in a weak voice, "Please, dear ants, can you spare some food for a hungry grasshopper?" His voice was filled with desperation and humility. He knocked on the anthill. He asked for help. He was very hungry. His once vibrant energy was now replaced with a deep sense of regret. He promised to work hard next time, to gather food and prepare for the future. He vowed to never take the summer's warmth for granted again. The ants heard the grasshopper's pleas. They remembered his joyful songs from the summer. They peeked out from their warm nest, their tiny faces filled with concern. They whispered among themselves, considering the grasshopper's request and his promise to change. Section 7. The Ants' Compassion, a Helping Hand. The ants felt sorry for the grasshopper. They knew he had made a mistake. They decided to help him. "We have plenty of food," said one of the ants. "We will share some with you, but you must promise to work hard next summer." The ants gave him some food. They told him to be prepared next time. They knew everyone makes mistakes. The grasshopper, overwhelmed with gratitude, nodded eagerly. He promised to learn from his mistakes and to be more responsible in the future. Section 8. Lessons Learned. The Value of Hard Work and Preparation. In this chapter, we delve into the timeless tale of the grasshopper and the ants, a story that teaches us the significance of diligence and foresight. The grasshopper learned a valuable lesson. He realized that his carefree attitude and lack of preparation had left him vulnerable and unprepared for the challenges ahead. He learned that it is important to work hard. Through his newfound determination, the grasshopper began to understand the satisfaction that comes from putting in effort and seeing the results of his labor. He learned that it is important to prepare for the future. By storing food and making plans, he ensured that he would not face the same hardships again when the seasons changed. The ants welcomed him into their warm home, and as they shared their food, they shared stories of their hard work and the importance of planning ahead. The grasshopper listened intently, absorbing the wisdom and experiences of the ants. He realized that there is a time for work and a time for play. The grasshopper understood that while enjoying life is important, it must be balanced with responsibility and preparation. He understood that his carefree days were over, and he was ready to embrace a life of responsibility. The grasshopper knew that this new path would lead to a more secure and fulfilling future. The grasshopper felt a sense of shame for his past laziness, but he was determined to make amends. With a renewed sense of purpose, he vowed to work hard and prepare diligently, ensuring that he would never again be caught unprepared. Together with the ants, the grasshopper found joy in collaboration and mutual support. He discovered that working together not only made the tasks easier, but also created a sense of community and shared achievement. Reflecting on his journey, the grasshopper felt a deep sense of contentment. He had learned the value of hard work and preparation, and he was ready to face the future with confidence and resilience. Section 9. The Importance of Sharing. Kindness and Compassion. The ants learned a lesson too. They learned that it is important to be kind. They learned that it is important to help others in need. They realized that even though the grasshopper had been foolish, he had learned his lesson and deserved a second chance. They all lived happily ever after. They sang and danced together. They were friends. The warmth of the anthill and the camaraderie of the ants filled the grasshopper with a joy he had never known before. Section 10. Conclusion. A Heartwarming Ending. The story of the ants and the grasshopper teaches us about hard work. It teaches us about preparation. It teaches us about kindness. It reminds us that even in the face of adversity, there is always hope, and that kindness and compassion can prevail even in the toughest of times. Remember, it is always better to be prepared than to be sorry. Always be kind and help those in need. And so, the ants and the grasshopper lived together in harmony, their friendship a testament to the power of forgiveness and the importance of working together.